Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Two fatally shot in Hanover. There has been another double murder in Westmoreland, Jamaica. Two men were fatally shot Sunday during an attack at a shop in Cousins Cove, Hanover. They are 31-year-old shop operator Patrick McIntyre and 40-year-old Jeffrey Clark, both of Cousins Cove. About 3 p.m., the men were having a drink in a shop operated by Mr. McIntyre when two gunmen posing as customers entered and purchased items. The gunmen then pulled firearms and shot the two men. Investigators theorized that Mr. McIntyre was the target of the attack. He was recently released from hospital after being attacked and shot by unknown assailants in his community on August 18. That shooting is under investigation. Extortion suspected in St. James murders. Residents of York Bush in St. James are trying to come to terms with the death of two men killed in what is believed to be an extortion attempt on Monday morning. 64-year-old Henry Summon and 56-year-old Gilbert Jackson came under heavy gunfire about 8:50 a.m. as they traveled by truck in the community. The shots were allegedly fired by a man whose earlier attempt to extort money from them was rebuffed. The alleged shooter has a reputation for violence. Member of Parliament for St. James Southern and State Minister of the Office of the Prime Minister and Holness Homer Davis visited the scene on Monday. You see persons driving and you indicate to them to stop. You demand money, and the gentleman commented that, "I don't give lazy man my money." And that is what caused his demise. When those words came out of his mouth, then bullets came out of the guns and snuffed out the lives of two well-respected, highly rated community members, the MP said. Reports are that Jackson, who is a carpenter, hired someone to transport kitchen cupboard to a house in Salt Spring. They were attacked on a section of York Bush Road. Shops brought the truck in which the men were traveling to a halt. Their wives had been jolted by the news of their death. Me talked to him this morning and then me leave him. He was eating his breakfast, and as me leave, me take a taxi and go out. By the time me reach the school to register my son, me get the phone call that the truck shut up. Me never know him in a hit till me get a phone call that him dead in it, said a grief-stricken Erica Jackson. Vinette, someone who has also been married to Henry for the last 33 years, was no less distraught. My phone kept ringing. I kept asking what happened to Joe, and nobody was telling me. They said I should run come and look, and when I come, this is what I see, she lamented. Other relatives and neighbors wept openly as the police processed the crime scene. Among them was McCoy Jackson, who said he did not believe that he received a phone call saying his brother had been killed. "I just say, let me come down here, come see for true, and I see him so it go," he said. The last time he said his brother, he added mournfully, was last week Sunday when he installed cupboards at his house. It's just sad that when you have idlers and some low-minded people who have no ambition, they kill people who them work them honest money, he said. According to MP Davis, the community is now shrouded in fear because of the actions of few unscrupulous individuals. We cannot allow one or two members of the community to hold a community at ransom. I have spoken to a number of citizens here this morning, and they are all in fear. They want something to be done, and they need it to be done now, he said. The police investigation is ongoing. What we have gathered so far is that there seems to be a member of the community who has been creating havoc among the members. We are following some leads, and very shortly, we will hold that person accountable, promised Superintendent Aaron Samuels, who is in charge of police operations in St. James. We want members of the community to work with the police. We're hearing that there are members moving around in the community with firearms. We want the community to know that we are here to assist. If you see anything that can cause harm or persons who are believed are criminal elements moving within your community, call us, he urged. Bus operators in St. Andrew protest after some tinted vehicles seized. There is a standoff between bus operators in the corporate area and traffic authorities regarding tint on their vehicles. Some operators on the Lawrence Tavern to downtown Kingston route on Monday morning withdrew their services and mounted roadblocks in the Mount Olga and Temple Hall communities. The action left scores of commuters stranded. The roadblock has been since cleared by the police. Egerton Newman, president of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, told reporters that the decision by those operators to protest came after several of the privately owned vehicles were seized in Kingston metropolitan area last week. Although the operators had been begged not to take action, Mr. Newton said only some heeded the call. A light tint is allowed on the windows of a coaster bus, while no tint should be on the rear glasses or the two first glasses at the side. Assistant Commissioner Gary McKenzie, head of the Public Safety and Transport Enforcement Branch, said that the bus operators will be prosecuted if they do not conform to the rules regarding tint on their vehicles. There should be inward view of public passenger vehicles. The only passenger vehicle that is allowed curtain or tint that cannot be seen through is the contract carriage, he insisted. However, Mr. Newman contended that when stopped, bus operators are told that their vehicles should not be tinted at all. He said the issue requires clarification. He also complained that the way in which police officers talk to operators is a concern. Mr. Newman claimed the cops will issue 9, 10, 11 tickets at one time and then tell the transport operators to go talk to the judge, don't talk to me. While he admitted that operators understand they might be wrong on the number of things, he said the response of the police has upset them. Mr. Newman said the police, Island Traffic Authority and the Transport Minister are to meet on the issue. Long wait times frustrate commuters. A week after the Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC announced that it had repaired nearly 100 buses for the new academic year, commuters are there still baffling with the lengthy wait time to get to their destinations. Checks made in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region and St. Catherine on Monday revealed frustrated crowds at bus stops from as early as 6:30 a.m. Corporate Communications Manager at the JUTC, Cecil Thoms, told reporters that there were issues with buses on several routes due to a strike by other public transport operators in the Stony Hill and Lawrence Tavern areas. Today was particularly challenging for us because of the strike actions, especially where that matter is concerned. We had to reroute up to 12 buses in the areas. Other areas where the number 75 would have been were affected to take those other commuters who were indisposable in their various destinations, he said. We are hearing that this particular protest action may continue into the week, and if that is the case, we may have some kind of dislocation in certain routes because we have to divert. But it has to be managed. It is true that we have done a fair amount of rehabilitation of buses, and we are going to continue to do that, he added. Thoms also said the company is yet to receive spare parts to improve the fleet due to challenges at Kingston Wharves in clearing the items. One woman who gave her name as Kenisha said although she got a bus to take her daughter to school on time, she had challenges returning home. I have only seen 2 buses in 30 minutes and they are coming packed. I brought my daughter to school this morning from 5 on the number 16 in Portmore. I am trying to go back home, but no JUTC. Anything I can get right now I will take, said Kenisha, who was at a bus stop at Crossroads. Another female commuter in Crossroads said she had been waiting on number 66 bus from downtown Kingston. A bus should leave town about 7:15 a.m., but I am not seeing that bus. Normally, what I have to do is to come out early and catch a 6:30 bus, because after that you don't get another bus until 8:30 a.m. This has been the case from summer, but it is worse now, she said. Other commuters seen at bus stops at Washington Boulevard had similar plights. Me out here from Minsk to 8 a.m. and 9:14 a.m. me still no get no bus. I have to be waiting for an hour and a half or hour and 15 minutes before getting a bus, said a man who gave his name as Vasian. One woman, Melissa, said despite buses being restored and re-entered into the fleet, there is still trouble traversing the corporate area. There is no bus, especially in Constant Spring where I live, number 49 to be exact. Most people just take taxi, she stated. There were complaints about the number 75 and number 32 at Duane Park bus stops. Cassandra Shaw admitted that she saw other buses except the one she needed to get to her destination. I have been waiting so long for a number 32. This morning is really a challenge. The number 75 and number 23 passed me and I'll know Ministry number 32, she said. Another commuter assumed that heavy traffic caused a delay in the buses running on time. I have been here for 20 minutes, but I believe the traffic on the road is taking them longer than usual. The 75 was running quite nicely last week, but it's taking longer to come today, she said. One man who gave his name as Mr. Lois said he failed to believe the bus company increased its fleet. It's about 25 minutes now, me I wait for one number 75, and me no move. A pure foolishness. JUTC no have no bus, is lie them telling, he said. At the Portmore terminus, a few irritated consumers were waiting on number 17 and number 18 buses for more than an hour. About an hour now, no bus no come. Every week is the same problem. From it reach certain hours, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., or even 1 p.m., you suffer to get a bus. Sometime when me out here, me have to turn round back, cause me can't get no bus, and cancel my plans because the time pass. Me can't go again, one woman said. She said she only relies on the JUTC buses as other modes of transportation are costly. Nobody can afford taxi fare, $300 and $500 them charge. Adults going to work and children going to school, and they're forced to take the taxis because there is no bus. Sometimes JUTC operators come with the bus and park it up for so many hours, she said. Another woman who asked not to be named claimed that the Portmore service was the worst, particularly route service by numbers 117, 18, and 20 buses. Joke business. Them a send one bus come. If you get no bus, you suffer out here. Rainfall, sun come, no bus, she fumed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.